Everybody, you're just in time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
And today we are joined by Barb Bartlein from the People Pro. Jeff Wagner is back with us. Russia's President Vladimir Putin signed a bill into law. It forces relatives of terrorists to pay for damages caused by their attacks. It also boosts penalties for launching, participating, or financing terrorist groups. Should relatives pay for the damages?
So let me get this straight. If my brother, sorry Scott, goes off and engages in some sort of terrorist act, you should be able to come after me if I have no knowledge of what he's doing. This is just dumb as a bag of hammers. I'm sorry, period.
Well, it's not going to deter terrorist behavior. I mean, I get the cracking down on those that are involved in any sort of way.
But it'll sure get your brother Scott to rat you out, though, if he knows you're up to no good, Jeff.
Well, I guess in the bigger picture, but I mean, I think you want to assess liability where the liability belongs. Now, if you aid and abet it, I have no problem. You know, if you've got a family member who's going to be doing something like this and you know it's going to be happening and you help them out, that's one thing. But just to pick innocent, unknowing family victims, family members, who in many cases, they're sort of victims themselves. They can't believe it when they say, here, this is my son that's done something like this. I think you victimize the victims.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm sure the intent is to deter crimes, knowing there's going to be an impact on your loved ones, your relatives. But I've worked with many clients whose relatives have done some awful kind of crime, and they truly are victims too. They're ridiculed, they're put up for public flogging in the press. They're victims just as much as the victims of the crime.
Right, and the bad guy's not going to care. I mean,
they don't care.
Let's face it. If you're in a situation where you're going to engage in an act of violence, you're going to walk into an airport and start shooting it up, you don't care what the impact's going to be on your brother or your sister or your children or your parents. You just don't care. You're not thinking that way. This doesn't make any sense. And matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't see something like this in the United States.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we reveal our viewer's choice topic, and we'll get one more check on our depressing weather. Stay with us.
Now more of what's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we are joined by the People Pro herself, Barb Bartlein, and Jeff Wagner. You know him from the radio. All right, new plans underway to treat police dogs like police officers. Police dogs in the UK will get their own pensions when they retire. That money will cover costs such as vet bills, worming, vaccinations, and kennel fees. Should police dogs get a pension when they retire? I'm going to go on a limb here and say, you know what? Yeah.
I thought they already did. I mean, definitely they should get some kind of funding for their ongoing care when they retire or put out of service. In many cases, these dogs have risked their lives for the public welfare. Yeah, I think we owe it to them to take care of them. And I'm not just saying that because my daughter's a vet. I really am on the dog's side.
You know, in another life, I worked with a number of dog handlers, the canine handlers for various police departments throughout the area. And you really see the outstanding job that these dogs do, whether they're bomb-sniffing dogs or drug-sniffing dogs or whatever. And what typically happens is after the dog reaches its retirement age, they try to find a place to place it. A lot of times the handler ends up taking it. Now, I don't know about a full pension or how much money, but the idea that, you know, the dog has earned a nice retirement and a little bit of dough to, you know, make sure the dog can be taken care of, I have no problem with that at all.
Milk bones and belly rubs for the rest of their life.
Well, few extra treats.
See, a lot of these dogs are actually great around people as well. You know, if there's a bomb, you know, you're going to be alert. They'll be attached to that. But they're great dogs in many cases, and I think this sounds like a nice thing to do.
They are amazing animals, and they save lives, including their handlers' lives.
Right.
So I think it makes sense to take care of them. Time for the lightning round. A lot of young girls, they dream about the big day, their wedding day. They see themselves with a great husband, a home, career, 2.5 kids. But an article is circulating social media called "Marriage Isn't For You." Do you believe marriage is not for everyone? Let's clarify the article.
Yeah.
The person who wrote it is married and newlywed and says he's learned that it's not about him. It's about making the other person happy and giving in order to get back.
See, when I first saw this topic,
that's what it's about?
Yeah, when I first saw this topic, I thought it was like the old Jeff Foxworthy, if you might be a redneck if you've ever taken a beer to a job interview, you know, that type of thing. I thought it was like, marriage isn't for you if you're already on your fourth, you know, Mrs. Wagner. That might be the indication. But actually, I think this is kind of cool. I mean, I think for the most successful marriages, it really is that partnership, and it's not just about you, it's about the other person as well.
I think it's a great message for the me generation or group of people that get married with the idea that, they're looking for all their happiness rather than really looking as to what they can bring to the equation. Marriage is the big stabilizer for families, for society. I think it's real important people go into it with the idea of, gee, what can I contribute versus what am I going to get?
Instead of, if you don't like it, you can take it back and get another.
Right. The
Which seems
trade-in.
to be part of the mentality
the upgrade.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, now having said that, somebody's going to call my wife and she's going to come home this evening and say, okay, what have you done for me today, dear?
Any chance your wife is watching right now?
She better not be, because she's at work.
Yeah, same with mine, but I'm not taking any chances.
You can always go online.
You can always go home with flowers, guys. It won't hurt.
All right.
All right, good thought. See, that's why she's the people pro.
Hey, this What's Hot discussion will continue online. Find that page at tmj4.com/hot.
Coming up, Storm Team 4.